Save big during Labor Day at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, buy more to get up to an additional 20% off. Shop even more savings with 3 Stay Green 1 cubic foot vegetable and flower garden soil bags for $10. This Labor Day, take care of your home for less at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 9/3. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location. Select locations only. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
So I wanted, before we get started, to let everyone know that I have a new podcast out, and it's called Meditations. If you like the Meditations segment of this current podcast, you'll like the Meditations podcast. It's nothing but 20 minutes of meditative sounds. And now, on with the podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Caesar's Palace for 12 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Los Angeles, California, wearing the red trunks with the gold trim, weighing in at 125 pounds, the lightweight champion of the world, Danny Little Red Lopez. Well, Bill, our winners get a home theater receiver. That's right. Experience the full potential of high-definition video with this 72-channel digital home theater receiver from Yamaha. But wait, that's not all. They also get a 5.1-channel surround sound system from Mirage. With 5 palm-sized speakers and a compact subwoofer cube, the MX 5.1 brings you huge immersive sound with Mirage's omnipolar technology. All from the Spiegel catalog, Chicago, Illinois, 60609. And they're taking closer order as down the stretch they come. Mr. Hot Stuff has 3 lengths to make up with chocolate candy last. On the rail, take the points behind that gallant son with chocolate candy gaining on the outside. In the lead is Pioneer of the Nile being tackled by chocolate candy. They're neck and neck as they come to the wire. And Pioneer of the Nile holds off chocolate candy and wins the Santa Anita Derby. And now, on your feet, time to greet holder of 14 NBA titles, your home team, your Los Angeles Lakers. Number 3 at 6'8", 5th year out of UCLA, playing forward, Trevor Ariza. Starting at center, number 17 at 7 feet, 4th year out of St. Andrews High School, Andrew Bynum. And at guard, number 24, 6'6", 13th season out of Loyal Marion High School, Kobe Bryant.
Some with a face like mine, I don't need one. And I tell you, nobody likes my looks. My mother would kiss my brother goodnight and scratch me behind the ears. Oh, my mother, she never breastfed me. She told me she liked me as a friend. I don't know. I tell you, I know I'm ugly. Oh, while the guy was mugging me, he took off his mask and made me wear it. No, I tell you, things happen to me you wouldn't believe. Like the other night, I found a guy's wallet. Inside was a picture of my 2 kids. I tell you, life isn't easy. Last week, my wife's father, he moved in, has electronic pacemaker. Every time he sneezes, the garage door opens. I tell you, my house, I could never relax. I got a dog, his favorite bone is in my arm. I got a dumb dog, you know. It took me 2 years. I taught him how to sit. He forgot how to stand. What a dog. It's all right. It's all right. It's a dumb dog. It's okay. This kid, my dog, well, last night 4 times he went in the paper. 3 times I was reading it. And my kid, that's another one. He's full of smart answers. He said, with a face like mine, I don't need one.
Good morning. It's Thursday, Jordan Peterson Thursday, August the 28th, and this is The True Conservative. Welcome to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there. I'm Ron, your host, and the only true conservative in the United States today. So today, after the Serenity Prayer and the patriotic song of the day, we will have Varney and Company, motivation, meditation, and Jordan Peterson. All that and more when I get back. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I should not change, the courage to change the things I should, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Thank you. Now, Stuart Varney and Company.
Great to see you both.
Likewise.
That is it for us. I'll see all of you tomorrow. Varney and Company is up right now. Good morning, Stuart.
Hey, good morning, Cheryl. And good morning, everyone. The stock market action today is dominated by NVIDIA. The news is that despite record revenue and profit and a 56% sales surge, the stock is down just a little in pre-market trading this morning. All right, what's the problem? NVIDIA reported its slowest growth rate in 2 years. No idea how the stock closes later today, but right now it's down, 35 cents. And coming on strong. Overall, stocks are edging higher. The Dow Industrial is on the upside by 50 points. S&P up 3, NASDAQ now up 7. But not that much movement, but we are in the green. Bitcoin, 113,200, that's the quote. The 10-year Treasury yield, that has slipped below 4.25%. You're at 4.24. The 2-year yield coming in at 3.65 this morning. On the show today, voters strongly support President Trump's crime crackdown. An AP poll gives him 53% approval. The mayor of D.C., she says she's grateful for the National Guard troops that the president has sent to her city. She says carjacking is down 87%. There's more proof, though, that the National Guard's presence is effective. Burglary down 19%, homicide 33%, assault down 42%, and robbery 44%. We want to know how Democrats will respond to this. So far, they've opposed the troop deployment. Perhaps they need a sister soldier moment. We will explain that one for you. They are dismantling alligator Alcatraz on the orders of a judge. That's not popular in Florida. And as we've been reporting, woke is in retreat. Not at the NFL, though. They are again going to have woke messages in the end zone this season. That's not popular. Maybe it's time to get politics out of sport. Thursday, August the 28th, 2025.
And that was Stuart Varney. He's actually come to work 4 days in a row, so maybe he's got nothing better to do. I don't know. Nonprofit news now. Back in a minute. Thank you very much. And now, the political corner.
Narcissists expect you to be so intimidated by them that they expect you to just lose who you are and meld into who they are. But there are certain things that you can do that are just going to drive them purely nuts. First, don't buy into their BS. They're not the ultimate arbitrators of truth. Keep that in mind. Beyond that, there's no need for you to justify who you are. They're not listening anyway. And then taking it further, live as a free person. They've assigned themselves as being your taskmaster, but that's a delusion that you don't have to play along with. Then refuse to argue. Just simply don't jump into their mud hole, okay? And then beyond that, have meaningful, separate relationships and priorities. Your character is everything, so hold on to that. Be you, knowing full well that it's going to drive them crazy, and then as you do so, get out of the way so that they can just be who they are. You can be a very separate and distinct person.
And that was the political corner. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, shorts.
A lot of people are hard on themselves about their relationships. They married a narcissist. I see that a lot. A lot of men or women going, God, I was with him for 25 years. Why didn't I learn about this till I was 50? And they feel tremendous guilt and even shame and can't forgive themselves. I wasted my life. No, you didn't. No one ever taught you. You are not to blame for something you weren't even aware of. A lot of people.
And that was the shorts. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now, a little bit of motivation.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? When they tell you you're not gonna make it, don't believe them, man. Don't believe them. You got to be relentless. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. See, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. And people know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You know it was hard, but you did it hard.
And that was a little bit of motivation. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now a little bit of meditation.
Welcome to this 5-minute guided meditation for deep rest and healing. Find a comfortable position, either lying down or sitting back, and gently close your eyes. This time is for you to sleep well, reduce stress, release anxiety, and let go of any heavy feelings. Take a slow, deep breath in and exhale gently. With every inhale, invite peace and calm. With every exhale, release stress, anxiety, and depression. Breathe in light. Breathe out heaviness. Now bring your awareness to the top of your head. Let your forehead soften. Relax your jaw, your shoulders, your arms. Feel your chest and heart open with ease. Let your stomach soften. Your hips release. Feel your legs heavy and grounded. Your entire body is calm and deeply at rest. Imagine a gentle wave of light washing over you, clearing away every worry. You are lying under a peaceful night sky filled with stars, safe and supported. Allow this healing light to wrap around you like a soft blanket of peace. Silently repeat these words with me. I am safe. I release stress and welcome peace. My mind is calm. My body is relaxed. I allow myself to sleep deeply and peacefully. Stay in this calm state for as long as you wish. If you are ready for rest, drift into sleep knowing you are safe, loved, and at peace. Good night.
And that was a little bit of meditation. Back in a minute. And now, thank you, Rebecca Zung.
Here are 5 ways to smartly deal with a covert narcissist. Number 1, don't share anything with them that you think that they might use against you in the future. Number 2, be aware of their manipulation tactics. They are very passive aggressive and highly manipulative. Number 3, keep anything to yourself that you think is something that's vulnerable. They will use it against you in the future. Number 4, don't share wins with them. They are not going to be happy for you. And number 5, be mindful of how they will want you to give in to them, because if you do that, they will certainly use that against you in the future. Just be careful and don't give in to them.
And that was Rebecca. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, Dr. Joe.
All right, so you're breaking it off with a narcissist? Here are 5 things to consider doing. 1, don't expect them to get it. They're not going to get it. It's a waste of time. 2, expect them to blame you for everything they've done. So you're going to go crazy, like, wait a minute, I didn't do that. You did that. You said this. It doesn't matter. They're not going to get it, remember, and they're going to blame you. 3, they're going to get everyone in politics, everyone else to see you as the problem. You're going to be the one, the fall guy here. You have to let that be. You try to break that, you're going to look like you're the crazy one. 4, make sure you cut off all ties. Do not engage. And if you can't cut off all ties, gray rock them. Gray rocking means you don't respond. You don't have a reaction. You're right there, but everything is like Teflon and it goes through you. And the most important thing, and the 5th one is, don't take it personally. This isn't about you. They're going to make it about you. It's in your skin. It gets into your guts. Let it go. This is about them, not you.
And that was Dr. Joe. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now, Jordan Peterson.
Narcissists are not motivated by the same principles that guide most people in relationships. While kindness is often a means of building trust and fostering connection, to a narcissist, it is merely a tool they can manipulate. They see kindness not as something to be reciprocated, but as a weakness to exploit. When you approach a narcissist with compassion, hoping to reach the human side of them, they do not interpret it as love or understanding. Instead, they view it as submission, as permission to continue their behavior unchecked. They thrive on control, and your kindness only affirms that they still have power over you. Narcissistic individuals operate with a mindset rooted in dominance and validation. They require constant affirmation of their superiority, and they achieve this through various means of manipulation. Whether through gaslighting, guilt tripping, or emotional blackmail, their goal is to keep you in a state of doubt and dependency. If kindness were enough to change them, they would have changed the first time someone treated them with patience and love. But they don't, because they are not seeking a mutual, respectful dynamic. They are seeking control. When you continuously extend kindness to a narcissist, especially in the face of their mistreatment, they perceive it as reinforcement. It tells them that their tactics are effective. If they can degrade you and still receive your warmth, they recognize that you are someone who will tolerate their behavior. They are not interested in self-reflection or moral growth. They are interested in maintaining their position of power. The more you forgive, the more you excuse, the more you overlook, the stronger their hold becomes. They begin to test how far they can push, how much they can extract from you before you finally resist. A narcissist's control is deeply psychological. They create an environment where you second-guess yourself, where you believe that if you just love them more, if you are just a little more patient, they will change. They encourage this belief because it ensures you remain within their grasp. You begin to blame yourself for their actions, thinking that maybe your kindness isn't enough, that you need to give even more. And this is exactly how they maintain their dominance, by keeping you emotionally invested in an outcome that will never come. True kindness is not about tolerating abuse. It is not about allowing yourself to be diminished for the sake of someone else's ego. But narcissists will convince you otherwise. They will take advantage of your empathy, making you feel guilty for setting boundaries, for standing up for yourself, for demanding respect. They will frame your self-preservation as selfishness, making you believe that your resistance is the problem, not their behavior. And because you are a kind person, you will question yourself. You will wonder if maybe you are being too harsh, if maybe you should give them one more chance. This is how they keep control, by manipulating your good nature against you. Boundaries are the one thing a narcissist cannot stand, because boundaries signal that their control is being challenged. When dealing with a narcissist, kindness without firm limits is seen as permission. They do not interpret your patience as an opportunity for self-reflection or growth. They see it as a free pass to continue their behavior. Narcissists thrive in relationships where there is no resistance, where they can push as far as they want without consequence. That is why setting boundaries is the most effective way to disrupt their power. It forces them to confront the fact that they do not own you. A narcissist's ability to manipulate depends entirely on their ability to invade your emotional and psychological space. They test limits in subtle ways at first, seeing how much they can get away with before you push back. If they can guilt trip you into doing things you don't want to do, if they can make you question your own decisions, if they can get you to prioritize their needs over your own, then they have successfully established control. This control strengthens over time as you begin to doubt yourself more and more, allowing them to dictate the terms of your relationship. But when you enforce boundaries, you interrupt this cycle. You send a message that there is a line they cannot cross. And for a narcissist, this is intolerable. Boundaries are not just about saying no to a narcissist. They are about reclaiming your sense of self. A narcissist wants access to your thoughts, emotions, and decisions, because this access allows them to manipulate you. When you establish firm boundaries, whether it's limiting contact, refusing to engage in toxic conversations, or asserting your independence, you take away their ability to control your reality. They may react with anger, manipulation, or even play the victim. But this is simply a reflection of their desperation to regain power. They do not respond this way because they care about the relationship. They respond this way because they care about maintaining dominance. The most important aspect of boundary setting is consistency. A narcissist will test your limits over and over, looking for any weakness or hesitation. The moment they sense doubt, they will exploit it, trying to convince you that your boundaries are unreasonable or even cruel. They will accuse you of being selfish, unkind, or ungrateful in an attempt to make you question yourself. This is why boundaries must be non-negotiable. The more you reinforce them, the less control they have over you. One of the reasons people struggle to set boundaries with narcissists is because they fear the backlash. Narcissists are experts at making boundary setting feel like a personal attack, responding with anger, passive aggressiveness, or even emotional withdrawal to make you feel guilty. They rely on your fear of conflict to keep you compliant. But in reality, their negative reaction is proof that the boundary is necessary. A healthy person respects limits, but a narcissist sees them as an obstacle to their control. Emotional detachment is one of the most powerful tools you can use when dealing with a narcissist because their influence depends on your emotional investment. Narcissists feed off reactions, anger, sadness, guilt, and even love. Every emotional response you give them serves as confirmation that they still have control over you. When you argue with them, defend yourself, or try to reason with them, you are unknowingly providing them with exactly what they need: engagement. They do not care about resolving conflicts or reaching understanding. Their goal is to keep you emotionally entangled so that they remain at the center of your thoughts and actions. A narcissist's manipulation works best when you are emotionally reactive. If they can push your buttons and get you to explode in anger, they will use that against you, portraying you as unstable or unreasonable. If they can make you feel guilty, they will weaponize your empathy to make you feel responsible for their actions. If they can draw you into endless debates where they twist your words and shift blame, they will keep you trapped in a cycle of frustration and self-doubt. The moment you detach emotionally, their power begins to crumble. Detaching emotionally does not mean suppressing your feelings or becoming indifferent to everything. It means recognizing that your emotions are a target and choosing not to give the narcissist access to them. It means refusing to engage in their drama, not reacting when they try to provoke you, and no longer allowing their words or actions to dictate your self-worth. This is where the concept of gray rocking comes into play, responding with minimal emotion, giving short, neutral answers, and not providing them with the emotional fuel they seek. The less reaction they get from you, the less power they have. Narcissists thrive on emotional chaos because it keeps their victims off balance. They use a combination of love bombing, devaluation, and gaslighting to keep you constantly guessing about where you stand. One day they may shower you with praise, making you feel special, and the next day they may tear you down, making you question your worth. This unpredictability keeps you emotionally invested because you are always trying to regain their approval. By detaching emotionally, you remove yourself from this toxic cycle. You stop seeking validation from someone who deliberately withholds it, and you begin to see their behavior for what it truly is: manipulation. When you detach, a narcissist will notice. They will sense that they are losing control and will often escalate their tactics to provoke a reaction. They may try to bait you with insults, guilt trip you with sob stories, or even shift into charm mode to lure you back in. But if you remain emotionally neutral, their efforts become ineffective. They cannot manipulate someone who refuses to be manipulated. Emotional detachment is not about ignoring reality or pretending not to care. It is about reclaiming your mental and emotional freedom. It is about recognizing that your peace of mind is worth more than any battle with someone who thrives on conflict. A narcissist's biggest fear is losing influence over you because their entire sense of self-worth is built on controlling how others see them and respond to them. They do not seek relationships for genuine connection. They seek them as a means of feeding their ego and maintaining power. Their survival depends on being able to manipulate the people around them, whether through charm, intimidation, or guilt. The moment they realize they are losing their grip on you, they begin to panic because it threatens their carefully constructed illusion of superiority. Narcissists do not handle rejection well. To them, losing influence over someone is not just a minor setback, it is an injury to their fragile self-image. They need to feel in control, to know that they can push your buttons, elicit reactions, and dictate how you see yourself. When they sense that their usual tactics are no longer working, they begin to unravel. They may try to reassert dominance by escalating their behavior, shifting from subtle manipulation to outright hostility. They may resort to insults, belittlement, or even threats to regain control. But this aggression is not a sign of strength, it is a sign of desperation. The fear of losing influence also explains why narcissists struggle with abandonment. They do not miss people in the way a normal person does, they miss the control they had over them. If they sense that you are pulling away, they will often attempt to lure you back in with false promises, sudden affection, or a fabricated crisis. They will act as if they have changed, as if they finally understand your worth, but this is just another manipulation tactic. Their goal is not to repair the relationship, it is to keep you emotionally tethered so that they can continue to use you as a source of validation. One of the greatest weapons against a narcissist is indifference. When they realize they no longer have the power to make you feel guilty, insecure, or desperate for their approval, they lose their hold on you. This is why they often resort to smear campaigns, trying to damage your reputation when they can no longer control you directly. They need to feel that they still have an impact on your life, even if it is through negative means. Their greatest fear is not hatred or confrontation, it is irrelevance. When you stop engaging, stop reacting, and stop allowing them to dictate your emotions, they are left with nothing to feed on. This is why breaking free from a narcissist is not just about physical distance, it is about psychological distance. It is about reaching a point where their words and actions no longer have the power to shake you. They want to believe they are irreplaceable, that no one else will understand you the way they do, that you need them more than they need you. But the reality is that their power was never real. It was only ever an illusion sustained by your belief in it. The moment you stop believing in their control, it ceases to exist. Self-respect forces a narcissist to seek new supply because they cannot function in relationships where they are not in control. Their entire existence revolves around gaining validation, manipulating others, and feeding their fragile ego. When you develop a strong sense of self-worth and refuse to tolerate their mistreatment, they quickly lose interest. They thrive on people who are willing to bend, compromise, and sacrifice themselves to keep the relationship intact. The moment you establish self-respect and refuse to be manipulated, they realize you are no longer a viable source of narcissistic supply. Narcissists do not seek partners or friends. They seek admirers and enablers. They need people who will boost their ego, excuse their behavior, and tolerate their inconsistencies. They are drawn to those who are empathetic, kind, and forgiving because these traits make it easier for them to maintain control. However, when you begin to assert your self-worth, set boundaries, and demand respect, you disrupt their power dynamic. They no longer see you as a reliable source of admiration and compliance, which means they must look elsewhere. The reason narcissists move on so quickly is that they are not emotionally invested in people, they are invested in control. Once they recognize that you will no longer feed into their manipulation, they begin searching for someone who will. This is why they often jump from one relationship to another, seeking out individuals who will give them the validation they crave without resistance. They do not take the time to reflect on their behavior or consider changing. Instead, they simply replace the person who is no longer useful to them. To a narcissist, people are interchangeable as long as they continue to serve their purpose. When you embody self-respect, you become immune to their tactics. You stop reacting to their insults. You no longer seek their approval, and you refuse to play into their manipulative games. This frustrates them because they rely on your emotional responses to maintain power. They may try to provoke you, guilt trip you, or suddenly shower you with affection to test whether they still have a hold on you. But when you remain firm in your self-worth, they eventually realize that their efforts are futile. They need someone who will engage in their cycle of manipulation, and when you refuse, they are forced to move on. One of the most effective ways to make a narcissist lose interest is to stop catering to their ego. Stop justifying yourself, stop explaining your boundaries, and stop trying to make them understand your perspective. A narcissist does not care about understanding you, they care about controlling you. The more you focus on yourself, your goals, your well-being, and your happiness, the less appealing you become to them. They need people who will prioritize them above all else. And when you refuse to do so, they have no choice but to seek someone else who will. Your self-respect is not just a defense mechanism, it is a direct challenge to their sense of superiority. And that is something they cannot tolerate. Walking away is the ultimate act of strength because it strips a narcissist of the very thing they crave the most control. Narcissists thrive on the ability to manipulate, provoke, and influence your emotions. As long as you stay engaged, whether through arguments, explanations, or attempts to gain their approval, they remain in power. They do not care whether the attention they receive is positive or negative, as long as it keeps them at the center of your thoughts. When you finally walk away, when you refuse to engage in their games any longer, you take away their ability to feed off your energy. Narcissists rely on keeping their victims emotionally attached, using a cycle of idealization, devaluation, and intermittent reinforcement to keep them hooked. They know exactly when to act charming, when to create conflict, and when to offer just enough hope to keep you from leaving. This cycle is intentional, designed to make you doubt yourself, second-guess your decisions, and stay locked in a toxic dynamic. Walking away disrupts this entire system. It signals that their manipulation has failed, that their control is no longer effective, and that they are losing their grip on you. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to leave narcissists is the fear of the unknown. The narcissist has conditioned them to believe that no one else will understand them, that they are unworthy of better treatment, or that leaving will result in unbearable consequences. This is part of their strategy to maintain dominance. They instill fear, confusion, and self-doubt to make you believe that walking away is impossible. But in reality, leaving is the only way to reclaim your power. The longer you stay, the more they reinforce the belief that you are dependent on them. But the moment you walk away, you break that illusion. When you finally detach from a narcissist, they do not simply accept it and move on. They react with desperation. anger, or even false remorse to lure you back in. They try to guilt trip you, spread lies about you, or suddenly act as if they have changed. This is not because they care about losing you as a person. It is because they care about losing control. They cannot stand the idea that you are making decisions without their influence. This is why they will go to great lengths to pull you back into their web. They may use flying monkeys, mutual friends, or family members to pressure you into returning. They may create fake emergencies or pretend they are in crisis just to get your attention. These are all attempts to regain the power they once had. Walking away is not just about physical distance, it is about emotional and psychological detachment. It is about refusing to let them dictate your emotions, refusing to be manipulated by their words, and refusing to allow them access to your life. A narcissist cannot control someone who no longer responds to their tactics. The moment you walk away for good, they are left with nothing to hold on to. When dealing with a narcissist, the greatest mistake you can make is believing that kindness, patience, or understanding will change them. Narcissists do not respond to love the way healthy individuals do. They see kindness as weakness, empathy as an opportunity, and forgiveness as a free pass to continue their toxic behavior. They do not seek connection, they seek control. The only way to break free from their influence is to stop playing their game altogether. Boundaries are not optional. When dealing with a narcissist, they are essential. Without them, they will continue to manipulate, exploit, and erode your sense of self-worth. The moment you enforce limits, they begin to lose their power. Emotional detachment further weakens their grip, as it denies them the emotional reactions they depend on to feel significant. A narcissist wants to know they still affect you, that they still have a hold on your mind and emotions. When you stop engaging, when you stop feeding their need for validation, they begin to panic because their influence is slipping away. Nothing terrifies a narcissist more than irrelevance. Their entire existence depends on being at the center of attention, whether through admiration or conflict. The moment you develop true self-respect, their power crumbles. They can no longer manipulate you through guilt, fear, or obligation. They are forced to seek out new supplies, someone who will tolerate their mind games, someone who has not yet learned to recognize the cycle of manipulation, and that someone will no longer be you. Walking away is the final and most powerful step. It is the moment you take back control, not by winning an argument, not by proving them wrong, but by choosing yourself. A narcissist wants you to believe that you cannot live without them, that you are nothing without their approval. But the truth is, they are nothing without your attention. The moment you cut ties both emotionally and physically, they are left with no fuel to sustain their illusion of superiority. They may try to pull you back in. They may spread lies. They may even pretend to change, but all of it is just another desperate attempt to maintain control.
And that was Jordan Peterson. And I listened to this because it reminds me that the left in this country, particularly the news people, so-called news people, CNN, MSNBC types, will use narcissistic tools and techniques in order to maintain control, but to do reality shaping, to try to shape my worldview and to shape my socio-political outlooks. Back in a minute. Thank you. This is Ron, your host, the only true conservative in the United States today, bidding adios to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there, and reminding you that subjective individualism is your idea.